away.
Good afternoon. Happy sober Saturday. Sober Saturday. All right. Saturday. Woohoo! I'm gonna do proofs in the pudding. You know. So I won't get political, but hey, Medicaid is not being cut the way that people think Medicaid is being cut. If you were born here and you're on Medicaid, it's not going away. If you're an American citizen and you have Medicaid, it's not going away. Okay? Calm down. All right. So, we're going to talk about detachment. Probably a good topic today. Morning, Michelle. Actually, a good afternoon. It is 12:17. So, good afternoon, Michelle. Afternoon, Amber. Let's see both. Detachment. It's an Al-Anon thing. We're going to be reading Al-Anon's. The rest of and even this one's about freedom. Why weren't the ones about freedom yesterday? It's like July 5th. Oh, by the way, freedom. Oh, there's a CPC committee thing coming up. Do I go to it? It's on Monday. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Sam, good to see you. Detachment. So, no, I did not ask for the song Detachment or the movie Detachment. Definition of detachment. Well, the movie, I say detachment, the movie. Right. So yesterday I was talking to Amber, and I go live a lot. But then the topic was live and let live, which is and live and live are spelled the same way. All right. But my favorite band is Live. One of my favorite bands is Live. They are not live right now. That's the name of the band. And when music first came out on, YouTube and phones and stuff, I couldn't look. I would have to do it by song because if I put in live, it just gave me a bunch of bands that went live. Oh man, Sam says ruptured my L5 the other night. Glad to be here. Dealing with unruly pain. I hope you start feeling better, man. I hope you start feeling better. So, do some introductions. Talk about detachment, things like that. I almost pressed the wrong button. All right, welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I will be your host today. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching live or the rewatch. The state of being objective or aloof. That is the definition. Let's see if we can. I think this is the one that we're looking for. The action or process of detaching separation. All right. I like when they use the word. This isn't a spelling bee. I just want the. All right. Process of separation. Right. Yeah. Good old Ed K. Yeah. I met Ed Kowalczyk. I was extremely drunk. Give me a second here. This right here is a copy of the song Lightning Crash. And he made 250 of them. This is number 89. You can see I have his thumbprint, I have his signature, or I have his initials right there. And then he signed it to me. So it's not worth shit, right? It's not worth shit to anybody else but me because my name is on it. Now, if we didn't have that, this might actually be worth something, but to me, it's invaluable. I got a signature there. This was the alcohol band that I was wearing. I wanted to meet this man my whole life, and I fucked it up because I wanted to drink. Now he's turned into an asshole, so fuck him. All right. Well, he thinks he's better than the whole band, and that's not how it works. You guys know how it goes with musicians. They're all full of themselves. Great music, though. Extremely spiritual. They're a very spiritual band. They don't sound like it, but Ed K is Buddhist. He's been writing spiritual songs. I mean, he wrote Lightning Crash when he was what, 20 years old, and it was about a friend who passed during childbirth. But anyway, we're gonna go to Detachment. Enough about Ed Kowalczyk. I also have a shirt that says Ed Kowalczyk, and nobody ever asks. Nobody ever asks who is that. Nobody hardly ever asks about my shirt, unless I wear my John Lennon shirt that I stole from my wife.
Yep.
And that, yeah, we know. You're right there. I'm admitting it. Um, and but people would say something about that shirt, but it isn't what you think. They're like, "That's a nice Harry Potter shirt." I'm like, "It's not Harry Potter. It's John Lennon." All right. So Sam says, did a show with them and Everlast back in the day. Oh, that's awesome, Sam. I'm a big fan of Everlast. I like Everlast. I do. They were a good band. Weren't around for very long though. They weren't around for that long, right? Trying to remember a couple of their songs. I could hear them in my head. Everlast. I just need a couple of their songs to. Oh, whoops! It's still recording. Everlast. Oh, and it brings up a list of Everlast songs. Jump around.
Everlast
Oh,
has many
all
songs.
your
Here are the
children, turn your lights on. Turn your lights on, cause there's a monster. All right, let's get to this. But how fun, Sam? Where'd you do that at? I'm just kind of curious. So I don't know if you knew, but Chad Gracie's got his own podcast going. Cool. I'm a big fan of Chad Gracie, or both the Chads for that matter. Did you know that the other Chad, because I forget the other Chad's last name, he's in recovery. He's been sober for a minute now. Yeah. Anyway, all right. I think the word detachment is often misunderstood. For me, detachment is the freedom to own what is mine and to allow others to own what is theirs. Well, gosh, for us, what would we call that? We did it yesterday. Live and let live. Say it's the same darn thing. So I kind of messed up here. These are the same topics. We just call it something different. We alcoholics don't like the words things like detachment. Because we were the ones detached from. So we're not big on detachment, but we do utilize it a lot. I have met a lot of people in AA. A lot of people. Not all of them have made it. Even in the last month, 4 or 5 of them have disappeared. Lost a lot yesterday. Maybe not in my group or the people that I know or whatever, but yesterday I guarantee we lost a good chunk. It was Friday and 4th of July, and it was nice. And yeah, that's a lot of stuff for an alcoholic, man. It is. Um, then again, a lot of people made it. And I'm just gonna kind of let you know. I usually don't really get close to people or closer or until they have a little bit of time under their belt. It's just, it hurts, man. I have abandonment issues. So I just don't build the relationship in the beginning. Um, a lot of times I may not even memorize your name until I see you for a while. I'm just not the best. I'm also not the best with names. I'll remember your face forever, but I don't see everybody's faces either, right? So, but you're gonna meet a lot of people in the program, and why do we need detachment? Well, we need detachment because I don't know if you notice this or not, and not all of us, but most alcoholics have codependency issues. We're also codependents, not to the extreme that a codependent is, but if you take a look at it, we also have narcissism and depression and ADHD, and it had said, see, our disease looks all like that. So to be surprised that you also might have a codependency, it's not a surprise. We get attached to these people. We've been lonely a good portion of our lives, you know. So it's exciting when may you go to treatment, right? And you'll build lifelong friends in there. Sometimes you're going through something very tough together. These are what we would call litter mates. And when you turn around and let's say you had four other litter mates, they all go out and you're the only one standing. It makes you wonder what's going on. Makes you wonder if you're going to be next. And this is where detachment comes in. All right. There's a lot of percentages running around out there. Only this percentage make it. Only that percentage make it. I don't appreciate that the only part in there. What about the people that did make it? At one point, what was running around, I was saying only 2% of heroin users get and stay sober. That's not true. That's not true. Hi, sweetie. Happy sober Saturday. How in the heck would Heroines Anonymous be around if only 2% made it? It just doesn't make any sense. We got to use our common sense when it comes to statistics. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you what statistics are good for. They're good for the government to hand out money. It's all it's good for. Don't be a statistic. Don't put yourself in that. You don't need to be it. You're going to see tons of people come in and out of this program. You may have already experienced it. It can be hard. It can be really, really tough, right? But the process of detachment, like when it comes to sponsees, maybe you got close to a sponsee, they went out, maybe they died. Maybe they died, you know. Um, I had one of my litter mates this time around die. I was about, I don't know, I think I was about a year and a half sober, and he had the same amount of time as me. We had the same sponsor. He worked on my car. We had become good friends, and I turned around one day, he was gone, asphyxiated. I've known. It's unfortunate, but I've known I don't want to say a ton, but several people that have died by asphyxiation. It's hard, man. You know, Myth nightclub. Yeah, they were big on in up in that area, Minnesota, Minnesota. I always say that so I can do the accent, Minnesota. Don't you know? Don't you know? That's awesome, Sam. Man, you're popular. He's like, no, I'm not. What's the name of your band, Sam? Why don't you tell us about the name of your band and stuff? Maybe we can go check it out. All right. So detachment is the freedom to own what is mine and allow others to do what is theirs. So live and let live. As a sponsor, as a sponsor, I do not take credit, nor I don't take credit whether they drink or they stay sober. I don't take credit. It's not mine to take. Okay. It's going to be hard to detach if a sponsor starts taking credit for their sponsees. Wait till your children grow up and move out. You're going to need detachment. It's going to be tough. It's tougher than you think. Yeah. Amber says, I'm decent at detachment. Had enough people die from this disease before I came to the group rooms. It's also proof to me that I need to be working the steps if I don't want to die. I couldn't put it more poignantly. Thank you, Amber. Sam says, yeah, level of detachment is very much present with losing so many to addiction and alcoholism, right? Now, we're not saying we don't care. We do. Problem is we care too much. Am I going to go to the celebration of life? Am I going to? Yeah, I probably am. Right? I don't go to funerals. I go to celebrations of life. Even if they died drunk. To me, that doesn't mean that they were a bad person, that they're going to hell, that they're going to spend eternity in purgatory and think, no, that's no. They died from a mental illness. You know, it's unfortunate because, gosh, they could have, you know, because for us, there's no better joy than, and this is where detachment becomes good. We can't just talk about the bad stuff. Let's go back to that sponsee situation. All right. I have a couple of sponsees. They're doing great. I'm fucking proud of them. When I think of them, I lighten up. It's cool. And I think they've done awesome. It's great. But I'm not going to be able to enjoy that if I'm taking credit. You only get one gift for one thing. So that works. In my experience anyway so far. There really isn't separation there. Right? So when I use detachment when I'm working with somebody, I actually get more out of it because I'm not creating expectations, because I'm not putting my own agenda in there. I've got to be careful of that. All right. There'll be, and you'll find for the most part, you'll do okay with this, but every now and again, there's going to be that person that just fucking rips your heart apart, man. You're not going to be able to help yourself. Just going to rip you apart. It happened to me this year. There was a young lady I have been trying to work with, trying to work with. Guarded grassroots once. She died in a high speed chase for a rollover. The guy was running from the cops. She was caught in the car and in another dangerous situation and gone. Much too young. Just had another little girl. The little girl was about a year old. It's sad, man. I had to take her out of the WhatsApp group. That was the hardest thing to do. It was really hard. My young lady just dead. We also have a lot of joy in this program, and detachment can help you do that because if I'm not attached to something, right? This is also the difference between sympathy and empathy. In this case, detachment is going to be an empathy, right? And sometimes it's hard for me. I'll see a child that's homeless or something like that. That fucking gets me, man. Those are hard ones. Anyway, let's see if we can try and lighten this up a little bit. I didn't mean to get so, but this is the life of an alcoholic, and you need to know. One of the very first things, and there's my friend, and I'm going to use Daryl's. Because I think it's better. He says every now and again he'll say that he was told to buy a black suit because he's gonna need it. So, and but there's gonna be a lot of joy too. There's gonna be a lot of watching other people put their lives back together, watching them recreate their lives, watching the kids come back into their life. Got a person in grassroots right now that's kind of happened, and they've been whining for months. I want my kids to come back. I'm like, it happened to you in months. Took me 8 years. 8 years. I fucked up bad. So it took a while. It took the time that it needed to take. That's what happened. This freedom allows me to keep my own identity and still love and care about and identify with the feelings of others. That is called empathy. Now, remember, we're talking about Al Anon here. So they're talking about detachment from the still drinking alcoholic. Keep that in mind. Kira says it's hard truth that comes with it, unfortunately. Yes, you are correct, sweetie. Yeah, the hard part. Sorry, we alcoholics are special, man. We are, and I mean that in all earnest. I don't mean special, special. We are that too. A little crazy in the head. Look, I know I'm cuckoo. I'm okay with that. I've accepted my insanity. Well, I'm not insane anymore, but I've accepted the fact that I'm not the same as a lot of people in this world, and that's just okay, right? Because this right here, and the freedom allows me to keep my own identity, right? In fact, I believe that the degree of our humanity can be measured by our ability to know another person's pain and joy. I've been practicing the principles of Al Anon to the best of my abilities for a long time. They have the same principles as Alcoholics Anonymous, by the way. So in Al Anon, they practice the same principles. Their steps are different. They're worded a little different, but that's about it. That's about it. Otherwise, the program's almost exactly the same. Because what are we dealing with? Alcoholism. They're still dealing with alcoholism. It's just theirs is a different type of mental illness called codependency. And it is a mental illness created by the neuroticism of growing up with a damn alcoholic. It's where it usually starts from. Or a dysfunctional home, one way or another. Right? So they practice the same principles. There's a principle behind every single step. Right? Sam says Al-Anon is the largest part of my program now. Al-Anon's a great program. It is. I'm going to tell a joke here, and it's purely a joke. All right, purely a joke. So don't take offense. You ever seen the Al-Anon handshake? I'm pointing my finger and shaking my hand for those that are not looking at the camera. And I put this on Podbean, and there's no video, so it's a good joke. All right, let's move on. That Al-Anon is a fantastic program. It really is. Yeah, I went through Alateen myself when I was young, so I understand a lot of this because Alateen is the same as Al-Anon, right? So Al-Anon is our sister. Yeah, AA is the parent 12 stepper. Everything else is akin, right? And even then, AA borrowed everything from everyone in order to make it. So even then, it's not like it was some new news. We're just utilizing it different, is all we're doing. But when someone in the fellowship shares about having a difficult time, I can go right back to day one. I no longer live with that type of emotional pain. That's what we call trauma. If You're in a situation and suddenly you feel like you're back somewhere. We call that trauma. It is CPTSD. If you feel like you're in that moment again, that's trauma, right? Thanks, Sam. Sam says that's a great joke. Okay, good. I got plenty of ones about alcoholics too. What's the difference between a large pizza and an alcoholic? A large pizza can feed a family of four. How do you know that Alcoholics Anonymous is not a cult? Because people in cults do what they're told. So we'll make fun of the alcoholics too here. We got to have some fun, man. If we don't have fun, there's no point in being doing this. So it says I can go right back to day one. I no longer live with that type of emotional pain, but I can feel theirs. I can identify without needing to remove their pain. To me, that is the Al Anon success story. That's the hardest part, isn't it? You want to take away their pain, don't you? I do. If I had a magic wand or a way to get rid of the pain, I'd fucking do it. That's why it's not given to me. I can't automatically make it go away, but I do have a solution to their problem. That I do have. Can I do it for them? No, I can't. I can't do it for them. That step two is got to be, you know, I can I can show you where the door is. I can hand you the key of willingness. I can show you how to put it in the lock. I can tell you everything. The one thing that I cannot do is utilize your key of willingness for your door. I can't do it. It is physically impossible for me to do. That is between you and your higher power. I can't touch that. Can't touch this. I was at my sister's yesterday. God, she knows me so well because somebody said electric, and my sister points right at me and goes, "Go ahead." I went boogie woogie woogie. Oh, it was like automatic too. She just looked at me like said, "Go for it." She knew exactly what I was. I've sung to everything my whole. It's part of my stimming. I do a lot of stimming. Heck, for all I know, I might be I might have a little autism. I don't know. I'm not going to go find out. I'm already diagnosed with 5 mental illnesses. I don't feel like adding any more on at the moment because they'll be happy to add that on. You know they will. Oh, all right, we're having fun. We're having fun. It was too hard in the beginning, so we gotta lighten things up before we get out of here. I don't want you leaving here unless there's hope in your pocket, man. So, right, and I would agree. To me, that is an Al-Anon success story. Sympathy means I want to take the pain away. Empathy means I understand your pain and I got a way out. It's hard to do, especially when you want to save them because you're like, oh, fuck, these next 30 days are going to suck for them. Got to be careful. All right. Today, I don't have to like everything my alcoholic loved one says or does. And I don't have to change her. Even when I think she's wrong, I continue to learn how to care without taking everything personally. Now, remember, this is about somebody living with a practicing alcoholic. I changed it a little bit for us, but listen to what they go through. This person has to go through all this work to continue living with the alcoholic and not, you know, blowing their own darn head off because they love them. Look how much you're loved. Today, think of all the people that wanted you to quit. That maybe they fucking nagged you. Maybe they did this. Maybe they did that. I don't give a fuck. Remember those people that loved you. You may still be living with them. Better be grateful that they're in your life. Because I can tell you right now, you wouldn't be here unless it was for them. Maybe they no, they didn't get you sober. No, they didn't, but they sure got you fucking motivated to get sober. They were a part of it. Might be a culmination of a lot of different people, moms and dads and brothers and sisters and these people. So be grateful that the Al-Anon program is here and that God puts us in our lives to fucking save us. I have great respect for people that practice the Al-Anon program. Right? I have respect for my wife. It is not fun. Not only am I an alcoholic, I'm a Virgo, and I am not easy to live with. You put one thing out of place around here, you're going to hear from me. Well, not as much anymore. I kind of let it go now. Pick your battles. All right. So God bless our Al-Anons. Today I remember I can detach and still love, still feel. I can learn to take care of my own business while allowing others to tend to theirs. Today I can detach without losing compassion. Love your neighbor, yet pull not down your hedge. George Herbert. All right. So here we are back at Live and Let Live. We got to let people work through their stuff. And I can tell you now, the hardest ones are going to be your children. It's going to be the kids. All right, if you have kids and stuff. That was my experience. Letting my kids go through that stuff without being able to do anything is one of the most powerless fucking feelings in the world. Now I know how my mom feels about me. Silly generational stuff. All right, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great Saturday. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And